Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. We are back with another video on the Amflow PL Carbon e-bike. The first video we did was a bit of a quick build video, followed by me riding it, my first impressions, along with my friends, giving them a little shot of it. I'd say it was a great success. But there's only one problem. It was the first ride. You know, although it was amazing fun and I had a great time, I don't think it was fair for me to really develop a full opinion on it without really cramming in some riding and putting it through its paces, doing a lot of climbing, testing it through all its different modes. So that's why we are here today, to talk a little bit about that and what I've done on it in the past kind of month or just over a month. And we have some brand new things upgraded on it, and we're going to talk about why I have upgraded from the bike as stock, and we're going to talk about the pros and the cons. We're not here to sugarcoat anything, and that is the cool thing about my position in the channel, is I can be honest. You know, you can decide whether you want to purchase one yourself or not. And I think a lot of people are holding back right now because it's a relatively new bike to the market, and I think a lot of people are kind of hesitant on pulling the trigger on buying one until there is a problem, and hopefully there isn't a problem. So we're here today to talk about that. So yeah, I have some brand new upgrades. As you can see, we have a RockShox Zeb on the front, big burly fork. I have downhill casing tires front and rear, and electric dropper post, and we have the SRAM Maven silver brakes, which are the same as the Ultimates on my Yeti. Different colour, but not tie. These do not have tie bolts and everything on them. And then we have the full EXO drivetrain, which has been pretty sweet, and then the Super Deluxe Ultimate air shock in the rear. I've been putting in a ton of miles in such a short period of time, putting this thing through its paces, washing it every single day after riding, sometimes doing multiple rides on it in a day, 2-3 rides in it a day, coming home, charging it. It's been through a lot, so let's get stuck into the nitty gritty and also get some really cool trails down and talk a little bit about this thing. So let's just get stuck straight into talking about how this bike climbs and how the power is delivered and how it feels. So I'm in trail mode, which is probably boost mode for other e-bikes, Shimano, SRAM motors, and I'm just casually cruising along at a nice 24 kilometers an hour. Yeah, power is just like pretty instant delivery. If I slow down, and then if I just do like half a crank, in fact not even half a crank, a quarter crank, and the torque is enough to pull me up the hill, which is crazy. And fast acceleration. So for me personally, having rode other e-bikes, Yeti SB160E I think, or E160 with a Shimano motor, so as far as does anything compete with this in my opinion, straight off the bat, no. Super torquey, super fun to do some climbing on, amazing fun. I don't think the motor noise, I saw somewhere that the motor noise can put people off, but if anything I think it's better. I heard a Specialized Kenevo pass me the other day, and it was the rattliest, noisiest motor I've ever heard. But for me, the noise doesn't bother me. Climb here, coming up at 17 kilometers an hour. Oh, it's just, you can't not smile when you're on this bike. Let's go in trail mode. Alrighty, into the tech. So with the new brakes, I feel like it's only fair that we put it through the test and do a track that I opened up and cleared out some time ago. Whoa. This is super steep, and it'll test the brakes out, so whoa, maneuver that. So for me, I need a really powerful brake, and that's what the Mavens do. The Maguras that come on the bike stock, honestly, I'm not a fan, but they will get the job done. But I'm just being picky, and I would highly recommend these as an upgrade. Ooh. And we're done. I would highly recommend SRAM Mavens, and they're also paired with Galfer pads, purple ones, and Galfer wave rotors, which make for an amazing combination of modulation, stopping power on an e-bike. This thing weighs in at, I think it's around 21 kilograms, which is lighter than most e-bikes, but you still want a powerful brake. It's still heavier than a normal enduro or trail bikes. For me, this has been a game changer, these brakes. And then yeah, there was quite a few tight sections in there where I had to pick up the back end and maneuver it, and I was able to do that. This bike's very playful. You can have this as a mullet setup, which I would be very keen to do because my Yeti Enduro bike is a mullet and they handle way better, they corner better. So I would like to do that on this, but it's cool that you can do that on this. It's not set in a 29er or anything, have it as a mullet configuration, which is cool. Alrighty, run number 2. Right, greasy today. Oh, the power and acceleration out of the corners is immense. Oh, this Zeb is eating it up. Oh, yep. Hop. Nice. We're coming into a section that has a lot of little climbs in it. And we're going to see, oh yeah, little pedal strokes. Just a pedal stroke keeps your speed topped up. Mad. And it's a very quiet e-bike. You know what the hard thing is with this bike? Is because it handles so well. You treat it like a normal bike because it's lighter, but it's still got that mid-weight, which is great in the center, but it's still heavy. It wants to be maneuvered like a normal bike. So it's tough, I get tired. So yeah, on that upper section where it's flat, half a crank, 2 cranks, if you're under the motor limit, makes a difference. Super impressive, and it's really quiet. Like, no rattle from the motor or anything. Just the sound of tires, which is really nice. Oh, went for the gap. Nice. That's one of the roughest tracks around here. This thing handled it like a champ. Next up, we're going to do probably the steepest climb this bike or any bike could possibly ever go against. I've only known one person ever make it up on a normal bike, and we'll be able to tell the degrees of the steepness percentage wise because the bike can tell you here, which is cool. So we'll get there and see how this thing handles it. I think it's personally gonna do very well on it, but the extra torque and stuff will just help. So yeah, for me, the bigger fork before a 36 came on it, Fox 36, and it isn't as stiff chassis wise as a Zeb. So the Zeb definitely offers me more stability, although it's stiffer. Maybe get a little bit more feedback for your hands. It feels awesome. We have 2 tokens in here right now and just over 100 psi. I don't like to blow through the travel very much, so for me it's a massive upgrade. And then the shock in the rear, I feel like I have it set up awesome because I've put my weight and pressure and everything in it. No tokens. It's just came from SRAM out of the box, and I've adjusted my settings and stuff, and the rubber ring is exactly where it should be, I feel like, which is awesome. It's not blowing off, so I'm not fully going through my travel too much, so I don't really have to search for the right setup because I feel like I found it, so which has been awesome. Like I said a little bit too about the Maven, the Mavens being such an upgrade for me is personal preference. For me, the Maguras, they're very squealy. They make a racket as far as like rotor noise, not so much like when they're wet, when they're dry. When the rotors are dry and the pads are dry, it makes a really high pitched noise, and I hate that, and it kind of distracts me. These are solid, fine, none of that. And yeah, the lever feel, or just the way the lever is on the Maguras, not a fan. And yeah, loads of adjustability I feel like on these. Contact point, lever, reach. So yeah, pretty much tune it to however you want, so definitely recommend that. So we're at the start of this extremely steep climb. Right here you can see gradient percentage. We're in trail mode, and we're going to see how this thing fares, and basically just how steep this is. So, oh my god, this is steep. Like, extremely steep. We are at, it's doing something right now, so we'll let it find its bearings, but 22%. It's pretty steep. So incredibly hard on a normal bike and very steep. When climbing on this bike, you really need to be over the front because the torque is so much. We're at 28% right now. Gradient. Look how steep that is. I'm still having to work relatively hard, but try to keep the front end down. 33% gradient. Unreal. This thing just chews up the climbs like nothing else. If you see me out on the trails at all, and you fancy a little whir on this, like a pedal on the flat ground or up a little climb, let me know. Glad to let you jump on it. I have not been up here in a while, so I don't know what's running and don't really know where I'm going. But got to put the bike through all different types of terrain. Whoa. Looks like it's been rode, which is good. I have to say too, these wheels, Amflow, are actually quite impressive. I've been hammering these wheels and no issues with them. In fact, I've had a couple snapped spokes, but just in the rear. Can't lie, that was pretty tough. Very janky, lots of loose rocks, but this thing did good, handled it well. We'll go back up the climb, but take it easy this time instead of motoring up and come down another one. So I'm in trail mode. Was in boost mode last time, but I'm in trail and it's handling it like a boss. Last time I was pushing pretty hard just to see how fast I could get up it, but really nice 11k up here. And this is 31% gradient. It's very steep. Imagine doing that on a normal bike. You'd be struggling to turn the pedals. Alrighty, let's get it. Oh, these brakes just stop on a dime when you want the bike to, like that. Oh, it's a quiet bike, man. I don't recognize any of it. So in the first video I did with the Amflow of building first impressions, I saw some comments asking if I got the bike for free, and then some people going, yeah, didn't reply. So I can't get back to every message straight away or see everything. I do have a life, you know. But yes, I did get the bike for free. They sent me it to test and put it through its paces, but you know me on the channel, I am not signed with anyone frame wise or whatever, so I'm free to say what I want and I'll always be honest, and that's how I do things and that's how the channel is. So I'm not just saying all these positive things because I'm being told to. No one's telling me to do anything, so some people should just have an open mind and be like, oh, there are good bikes out there, there are motors that are working, and so far so good. I can't complain. As you can tell, my smallest complaint has been the spokes snapping. Take it to the bike shop and get it quickly fixed, no big deal. The wheels have been really good, and that's Amflow's own brand of wheel. Yeah, that's all there is to say. We've done a lot so far. We've done in an hour and 20, we've done 1,000 meters, which is pretty sick. And the cool thing is I can go back home and charge this bike up for 2 hours and then go back out on it. Imagine what that's like in the summer days, or during the summer. Like, you'll be able to do so much riding. Also, quickly worth mentioning, like I said, I've spent most of my time in trail. I have been in eco mode, but if you adjust on the app, the Avinox app, you can adjust the torque settings and override settings and all that sort of stuff, so you can really tune it and customize it to what you want and try different things. For me, when I didn't have the Yeti and I only had this bike, I was still riding with my friends who had normal bikes, and eco was pretty good. I just toned it back a bit, less torque, and it would last for ages, and I was still putting in a little bit of effort, but I had that nice assistance. The great thing about e-bikes is you can ride and do a good amount of riding and not be tired or fatigued, and then be good for the next day for riding your normal bike, say. Or you can just go back out with this again and again and again and again. So I love them as a tool for training and also just for fun. The amount of descending you can get in is absolutely insane. You can't go wrong with them. I feel like your skill can improve, your bike handling can improve, your fitness and strength can improve because it's a heavier bike and you're doing more riding, double, triple more of the descending you would do on a normal bike. I did like 5,000 meters of descending on this and 5,000 meters of climbing in like 4 hours, which is mad. And I feel like it's helped me as a rider to get better. So this bike's been a treat. So loose. God, it's washy today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like on it, show your support. It helps, as always, helps the video be pushed out to more people and makes this channel what it is. So I appreciate all that support. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. And then yeah, we've got some really cool stuff planned coming up, so stay tuned for all that, and you can do that by subscribing. Thanks a lot. Peace out. See you in the next one.